Hey guys, it's Mini-Me27 again. I know I said that I wouldn't post another video until next week or like this weekend or something like that, but I wanted to go on ahead and get through my story so I could get to more of the advice part and get to your all's suggestions and stuff. So remember, if at any time you have any suggestions or specific questions for me, then just leave them in the comments and I'll make sure to look at them. So anyway, I'm going to get back with my story of my experience with my dad having cancer. So anyway, my last video, my part one, I ended at Christmas or no, it was the New Year of 2011 is where I ended. And so he still had his ileostomy bag at that point. He was getting used to it and stuff. Not a whole lot happened really. In February, he noticed it hit a little spot on his shoulder, like right here. And so he went to the doctor. He thought it was his thyroid. No big deal, stuff like that. Well, he got to the doctor and they told him that he had cancer again. So we went through the process, and that was on March 1st of 2011, by the way. And so they went through the process again of finding out where it all was. And he had a little spot the size of a pea on his shoulder. He had it in his liver again. He had a spot down near the spine. And so they decided to do radiation at first, especially on the spot on the shoulder. They actually did get it to go away with radiation, which is a blessing, but by that point it had spread and gotten bigger in the other areas. So they tried chemo again, like a less aggressive form, and saying it made him sick and stuff, but he still never lost his hair during all of this, which was amazing. It thinned out a bit, but he never actually lost any of it. Oh yeah, he did get his ileostomy bag taken out in March of that year, like later on in March. So he just had a scar where that was from. But we went on vacation to Myrtle Beach that summer, and so he was able to get out, and he enjoyed that vacation a lot. So, and then whenever we got back, he kept on going to the doctor, and they were discussing ideas and stuff like that. But they said that they couldn't perform another surgery on him because of where the spots were at. They were just inoperable. Like they might be able to get one of the spots, but they couldn't get the other one, and it had started to spread to other parts of the body at this time. Then early November, the doctors told him that there was nothing more that they could do for him. So they brought the hospice bed in, and he was getting used to it, but he didn't use it at first because they told him to take advantage of it and not use it until he absolutely had to. So the weekend before Thanksgiving, we had family pictures taken with him, me, my mom, and my little brother. And so those were nice. They were the last family pictures we got to take because the next weekend he wasn't even able to get out of his bed without assistance. So, and then from there he just started going downhill more and more every day. So by the time it reached December, whenever I got on Christmas break, because this was my freshman year of high school, so by that point I'd had to help him out with everyday tasks. Like he just had to lay in his bed pretty much all the time. We'd help him get up out of his bed and onto his little like portable toilet that they had to sit near his bed. That's what it was called. I couldn't think of the name for some reason, but anyways, I had to help him do that. I'd bring him little bits of food here and there. Like he got to the point eventually to where he could only eat like one of the little snack pack puddings a day, and that was really downheartening to watch. And also, he liked his water really cold, so we had like 3 bottles of water for him in the refrigerator. So I'd take one to him, and whenever it started to get warm, I'd replace it with one from the refrigerator and put that one back, and so on and so forth. So he always had really cold water, and he really liked it. Then, as it got later into December, like it was mid-December, like probably around the 20th or something like that, me and him had a talk, and I basically said, well, I didn't want to give up hope at the time. I still wanted to say that he'd pull through, but we both knew in the back of our head that he wouldn't, because the doctors had already told him that he wouldn't. So I was like, well, don't worry if something does happen to you. He's like, I want you to know that I love you and that I'll help raise the family. It's like, I'll help the family as much as I can. And I was like, I'll help raise my little brother as he had taught me. And so it was a good talk for us, definitely. When Christmas rolled around and he couldn't get out of bed, so we didn't leave the house. Everyone came to our house that day, which is unusual for my family. Usually we're the one that's travels to our grandparents and stuff on Christmas to see family. But that day they all came to us. And then by the time the new year rolled around, he did get to see 2012. But by that point, we had to change him and stuff. He couldn't get out of his bed anymore. The hospice nurse was in a lot more. It got to the point where one of my friends' moms had to come over since she was a nurse that was unemployed at the time. So she would come over and help out during the days and stuff while my mom was at work. So I remember on January 2nd, or it might have been the early morning of January 3rd, I remember getting up, and it was like 1 in the morning, so I think it was January 3rd at this point. It may have been January 2nd, I don't know, I had my dates confused. But I was woken up at 1 in the morning to help change my dad, and I remember the only thing that he would tell me was like, "Oh, you're doing such a good job, I'm so proud of you," and all this stuff. And it was good to hear from him. And then I went back to bed, and I woke up the next morning, and he wasn't able to speak anymore. He wasn't really responsive at all. So, and then on January 3rd of 2012 at 10:52 p.m., he passed away. And at that point, we were happy for him because we knew that he was suffering so much here on earth, and we believe in God, and he did too. So we knew that he was going to heaven because during this whole experience, that's the only thing that he would talk about is how excited he was for the streets of gold. And so definitely we were happy for him, but at the same time we were upset that we had lost him. But I think we were more happy for him in the first little bit that he didn't have to suffer anymore. That's how bad it was. So, and I thought that it was over at that point, but then I came to realize later on that it almost never ends. And that's why I'm doing these videos, because I think that maybe if I can just help one person, then maybe it'll make all that worth it and give me some closure maybe. So anyway, that's my story, the basics of it. Of course I could go on, like this was a 16-month battle, so I could go on for days if I had to about my story, but I wanted to condense it into under 15 minutes, and I'm about there now with part 1 and part 2. So now I'm going to take the time to say that I thank you all for watching this. Now I'm going to try to get into the advice and what to do if you have a similar situation like this. So if you do have any specific questions, please comment and ask me. Yeah, and also a quick question, side note thing, like since I am kind of new to YouTube, I'm just using the camera on my laptop because I don't have any special stuff. Do you all know any good video editing software that's cheap for a laptop? I have a Toshiba laptop, so it has an app store and stuff, but does anyone know any cheap editing software that I could possibly get to make these videos more interesting for you all and maybe more interactive or something? So if so, leave a comment and let me know. Other than that, I think that's all for now, so I'll try to post another video hopefully later in the week, maybe next week. So but thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.